Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Well, first tonight, a closed King Island mine could be brought back to life after receiving a $10 million taxpayer loan. The scheelite site has been dormant since the 1990s, but is poised to reopen, bringing with it jobs and opportunities. The island's mayor now hopes everything from better internet, ports and perhaps even an extra footy team could be on the way.
It was one of King Island's darkest days.
The 90-strong workforce got the bad news this morning. The mine will close tomorrow afternoon.
The scheelite mine was mothballed in 1990 as China flooded the market with cheap tungsten. Land was rehabilitated, homes were abandoned, the island's population dropped. For years, rumours circulated of a restart. Today, there was finally a firm commitment.
We know that this is a game-changing moment. It sets a pathway for reopening that mine.
$10 million will be loaned by the state government to the mine's operator.
This is a major step forward. It's a major vote of confidence in the mining and mineral processing sector.
80 jobs would be required during construction. 50 would be added permanently. But the company concedes not everything is guaranteed.
What the big challenge for us has been is to raise the money to build a brand new processing plant, which is $42 million.
As an ingredient in steel, tungsten now commands a higher price. China sells the lion's share, but recent trade tensions mean buyers could be looking elsewhere.
Many Western countries want to find alternative sources of supply, and this is one.
There's hope a new mine will strengthen the case for upgraded internet and ports on the island.
80 extra jobs, 80 extra families, more kids at school. We might even get up to that 4th football team, which would be wonderful. So much could change.
Already the expectations are high. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Unions and Tasmania's largest boat builder are calling for a 3rd ferry to support the Spirit of Tasmania fleet. The Infrastructure Minister says he's mulling over the idea as questions linger around the vessel replacements.
They're busy now, but Incat says it needs more work to stay afloat.
We're winding down a little bit at the moment. We've had one delivered, well, another one will be delivered mid-year, another one at the end of the year. We do need more work for the following years.
Backed by unions, the catamaran builder is calling for a 3rd ship to be added to the Spirit fleet.
A 3rd vessel is definitely needed across Bass Strait. We really need to bring more tourists into the state.
We know that a lot more people will be travelling across to Tasmania as they won't be able to travel overseas on holiday. So we need that extra capacity.
Last year, the state government ditched plans to build replacement ferries in Europe. A task force was established to explore local options, although it's highly unlikely the massive steel hulls could be made in Australia. As for Incat's proposal,
I'm open to the advice from the task force and, of course, Spirit of Tasmania owners TT Line, the company, is a member of the task force. So we really look forward to the advice.
That advice is expected to be released in coming weeks. Meanwhile, a tender process is underway to operate a River Derwent ferry trial. The minister is tight-lipped but optimistic.
We hope that Tasmanians and particularly Hobartians will vote with their feet and choose to give that ferry a run.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Public school retention rates in Tasmania are now higher than the national average after rising to 80%. But Labor says the overall figure is a lower 74% when private schools are included.
The fact is our retention rate is below the national average. Our attainment rate is well below the national average.
The state government argues the Productivity Commission findings vindicate its decision to extend years 11 and 12 into high schools. A record number of artists have entered this year's Glover Prize. More than 600 paintings are in the running in the country's most prestigious landscape competition, attracting more Tasmanians than in previous years. Artists from France, Bangladesh, Romania and Iran, among others, have also entered. The 42 finalists will be announced this Friday, with the works to be on display to the public from next month in Evandale. An innovative recycling program which has halved the waste of one Tasmanian council has notched up an impressive milestone. 10,000 homes in Launceston have now registered for a curbside FOGO bin, which processes almost all organic material into compost.
Last year we had 6,000 tonne of material come into our organics facility. So that's 6,000 tonne that's not going into a landfill.
In 2017, the council became the first in Tasmania to introduce a scheme, which has now been adopted by a host of other municipalities. Young hockey players will be kitted out from the time they start playing the sport, thanks to a new campaign by Hockey Tasmania. Primary school-aged children new to the sport will receive a hockey stick, ball and clothing when they sign up to play. The equipment can then be used to take part in the Get Into Hockey program, which teaches children the basics of the sport.
Tasmanian tennis sensation Harry Bouchier has notched up his first win on the ATP circuit in a match he wasn't even expecting to play in. He stepped in at the 11th hour to replace an injured Bernard Tomic, who had been snapped on the basketball court.
His reaction said it all.
Well, Bernard Tomic's withdrawal gave Harry Bouchier the opportunity of a lifetime.
Tomic's injury withdrawal offering a free shot for Bouchier, and he grabbed it with open arms. His first career win on the tour from a match he was never meant to play.
I didn't get into the tournament, obviously. I'm an alternate and have to come here first thing in the morning and sign in 30 minutes before matches.
Though he didn't seem sluggish, clinching 2 early breaks.
Oh, that's some serious talent.
Powering to a straight sets victory. His next potential opponent in the second round, Nick Kyrgios.
He has to win his first round first, so we'll see how it goes in that one.
Rowing Australia has confirmed Lake Barrington will host the National Championships at the end of March after weeks of uncertainty. Entries are now open, however, the sport's peak body says it's still finalising health requirements with the state government. Shana Thompson has signed with the Hobart Chargers, bolstering its attack for the upcoming NBL 1 season.
Shana's known as a lethal shooter, but we're really excited this year to keep seeing her add to her game.
Despite being one of the youngest in the squad, she's not shying away from taking a leadership role.
I think that my role's definitely changed now that I have some WNBL experience. I think I've definitely got to step up.
And Tasmanian NBL journeyman Lucas Walker has announced his retirement after a decade at the top level. The 36-year-old won a championship with Perth in 2017 and a gold medal with the Boomers at the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. Cressy and Launceston on top today with 25. Hobart and Burnie 21. Devonport a top of 22. Yes, we gave today a pass mark despite most temperatures settling below average. Fingal 23 and Sheffield 22. Lowhead, Friendly Beaches and Flinders Island 21. St Helens and Bushy Park 19. Strawn and King Island 18 degrees. Low level cloud over the west, south and north east today. No rain in the gauges from that situation. A large band of cloud extends from southeast Queensland to over the Tasman Sea. Deep convective cloud with the tropical low off WA with more pushing over South Australia. Tomorrow a low moves off our northeast. The monsoon trough and tropical low gain in strength further north and a cold front tracks over the bight. Winds east to southeast, lighter over the west but to 25 and even 30 knots elsewhere, swells to 3.5 metres. A strong wind warning in place from the northernmost point of Flinders Island to St Helens Point. Now for tomorrow, a top of 20 for Hobart and partly cloudy. Geeveston 22 degrees and Bothwell, a bit of cloud about fine and 21. Launceston partly cloudy, 23 the maximum, 22 for Devonport, partly cloudy for Cressy, warming up to 24 degrees. 21 the high for Burnie, partly cloudy for Strawn with 22, 21 for Curry on King Island. St Helens expecting 18 with shower or two increasing later in the day. Swansea the same, late showers for Orford and 18 degrees as well. UV very high on the scale at 10 for tomorrow. Now to Thursday, fine over the north and northwest, showers over the east, easing during the evening. Rain on Friday, becoming heavier over the north during the day. Now don't worry if you have tickets for the Festivale presentation of Indulge, as all the tables are undercover. No matter what the weather, the fine Tassie produce will be excellent still. And on Saturday, showers easing during the afternoon and evening, and just a 50-50 chance of a shower for the Hobart Cup on Sunday. At this point, 34 and sunny in Perth tomorrow, partly cloudy in Adelaide, sunny in Melbourne, 25, a shower possibly for Sydney and probably for Brisbane, and a storm for Darwin. And as you check out the current conditions, let's look back on January. The hottest day was 38 degrees at Dover on the 11th, the coldest night -4 at Lyowini on the 20th, but averaging everything from the day and nighttime temperature skim, the warmest place for the month was Launceston with 18.4 degrees. I'll try to make February better for you.
Haha, good luck with that. Thank you very much, Murph. And that is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates this evening. Thanks for joining us. Good night.